recording? Yeah, the first question here asked you to turn this mixed number. Okay, this is called a mixed number because it's made up of a whole number. Which one's the whole number?
6.
6, and a part, a fraction. 6 and 2/5. So they want you to turn the mixed number into an improper fraction. Do you remember what an improper fraction is?
Yeah.
Is when the numerator, that's the number on top of the fraction, okay, the number above the fraction line, the numerator is,
It can't go into the denominator.
it's when it's larger than the denominator. Okay, so if this number, the numerator is larger than the denominator, then it's an improper fraction. And the question asks you to turn this into an improper fraction. So anytime you have a mixed number, what you do is you multiply the denominator and the whole number. So I like to draw this little sketch here. I'm going to multiply 6 times 5. That's the first step. Multiplication comes before addition. So what's 6 times 5?
30.
30, good. And then I'm going to add 30 plus whatever the numerator is. So what's 30 plus 2?
32.
Okay, so we know that the numerator is going to be 32, and the denominator stays the same, whatever it is. So it's 32/5. Okay? Okay, so 32 over 5, this is an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. And I want you to think about this for a second. If our fraction is at a 5, okay, if I have 6 wholes, I can write that as 5 over 5. That's a whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many of these do I have?
6.
6. So I have 5 over 5 plus 5 over 5 plus 5 over 5 plus 5 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 wholes, right? 6 wholes and plus 2/5. So I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We're multiplying 6 times 5 because I have to repeat that 6 times, right? So I have 30, 30/5 plus 2/5. What's 30/5 plus 2/5?
32.
32/5. That's how you get the answer. I just want to show you the shortcut, but that's actually what you're doing. You're adding the whole number. You're adding 6 wholes, and then you're adding the fraction part. So you're adding the 6 wholes, which means that you're multiplying 6 by 5. Okay, so that was the first question. So the answer should have been 32 over 5. This question dealt with subtracting fractions. Now, one thing you need to remember is whenever you add or subtract fractions, you have to make sure that the denominators are the same. They have to have a common denominator. So right now, what's the denominator of the first fraction?
8.
And what's the denominator of the second fraction?
16.
Okay, now is there a common multiple of 8 and 16?
Yes.
What is it?
2.
You're trying to look for multiples, not factors. You could do it the other way, but then you're getting into decimals. So multiples of 8, for example, are
8.
8, 16, 24,
32.
32. Okay, we'll leave it there. And multiples of 16 are 16, 32. Okay, now we're looking for the lowest common multiple, which would be
16.
16. You can find any common multiple, but if you find the lowest common multiple, then your answer is easier to get into lowest terms, okay? So what do I need to multiply 8 times what to get 16?
Times 2.
2. Do I need to multiply 16 by anything?
No.
No. Whatever you do to the denominator, you have to do to the numerator, okay? So if I multiply the denominator by 2, what do I have to do to the numerator?
Multiply the numerator.
Good. So we are rewriting this as an equivalent fraction. 7 times 2 is what?
14.
Okay, so 14 over 8 times 2?
16.
16. So 7/8 is the same as writing 14/16. These two are equal. They represent the same fraction. So 14 over 16, take away 5 over 16. Okay, so the first step in subtracting fractions is find a common denominator. Then the final step is what do you subtract now?
The numerators.
Good, you only subtract the numerators. So what's 14 take away 5?
9.
Good.
9 over 16.
And do we do 16 take away 16?
No.
No, because it's 14/16 take away 5/16, we're left with 9/16, and that's the final answer. Number 3 asked to figure out which fraction is greater Okay, so we want to know if 2/5 is greater than 4/7 or if 2/5 is less than 4/7. Okay, to compare fractions, what's an easy way to do this?
Which has the bigger?
If the denominators are the same, then you know what they're both out of the same number. Like if I said to you, what's greater, 3 out of 4 or 1 out of 4?
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. Well, right now we're comparing two fractions that have different denominators, so it's kind of hard to compare them. Okay, so what are we going to do?
Try and get the same denominator.
Try and get the same denominator. So let's list the multiples of 5 and 7. Multiples of 5 are
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45.
okay, we'll stop there because I ran out of space. And multiples of 7?
7, 14, 21, 28, 35.
Yep. And one more?
Oh, one more.
42. Okay, do you see any common multiples?
35.
35 and 35. So 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gives us 35.
And 7 times 5.
And 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us 35. So we made both the fractions out of 35, but if we multiply the denominator by 7, what do we do to the numerator?
Multiply by 7.
And here, the numerator.
Multiply by 5.
Good. So 2 times 7 is
14.
4 times 5.
20.
Now, is this easy to compare? 14 out of 35 and 20 out of 35.
20 is bigger.
20 is larger, so 14 out of 35 is less than 20 out of 35. The next question is adding fractions, and it's the same as subtraction because you have to make sure the denominators are the same. Now, this question was pretty easy because the denominators were already the same, right? So do we have to change anything?
No.
So all we have to do is add 13 plus 8. What's 13 plus 8?
21.
So 13 fifths plus 8 fifths equals 21 fifths. Now this is an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. So I want to turn the improper fraction into a mixed, we're going to turn this into a mixed number. Okay, do you remember how to turn this into a mixed number?
Divide.
Okay, so 21 divided by 5, 5 doesn't go into 21 evenly. How many times does 5 go into 21?
4.
Okay, so there's 4 holes.
Oh, and then the remaining is
Yeah, and what's left over?
whole.
1/5.
1/5, good. Because if I have 4 holes, I have 5 out of 5, plus 5 out of 5, plus 5 out of 5, plus 5 out of 5. That's
1 out of.
good. This is 5, 10, 15, 20 out of 5, but we need to have 21 out of 5, so plus 1 out of 5. So we have 4 holes and 1/5. Okay, and we can work backwards. 4 times 5
Is 20.
20.
plus 1,
21.
21 fifths. Good. Okay, so multiplying fractions. All we do when we multiply fractions is we don't need a common denominator. So it's actually very simple. You don't have to change the fractions at all. All you do is you multiply the numerator times the numerator.
And the denominator times the denominator.
Exactly. Then you multiply the denominator times the denominator. So what's 1 times 20?
20.
And what is 2 times 18?
36.
That's it.
Here, I got that.
Now, we want to put this in lowest terms. The question said to write your answer in lowest terms. So we need to figure out a number that both 20 and 36 are divisible by. We need to reduce this. What goes into 20 and 36?
4.
Okay,
4.
they're both divisible by 4. What's 20 divided by 4?
5.
Good. What's 36 divided by 4?
9.
Good. Can I reduce 5 ninths?
No.
Is there anything that goes into 5 and 9 aside from 1?
No.
No, so that's it. So the answer is 20 over 36, which is equal to 5 over 9. Okay, now I'm going to do one more question to show you how to divide fractions. When you divide fractions, what you do is the first fraction stays as 7 over 5, and what you do is you multiply by the reciprocal. Do you guys remember what this word means?
No.
You haven't learned this yet?
No.
Okay, so what that means is that instead of writing 7 over 5 divided by 9 over 7, I'm going to write 7 over 5 times, I need to multiply by the reciprocal of this. What do you guys know what a reciprocal is? A reciprocal is a number that when multiplied by a given number, it gives 1 as the product. So in order to get the reciprocal of 9 over 7, we would have to multiply it by
7 over 9.
7 over 9. You basically flip the numerator and denominator because 9 times 7 is 63. 7 times 9 is 63. The answer will always be 1 when you multiply a number by its reciprocal. And in order to get the reciprocal, you basically flip it. You switch the numerator and denominator, okay? So when you're dividing fractions, you multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to take 7 over 5, that stays, and multiply it by the reciprocal of this fraction. What's the reciprocal?
7 over 9.
Good. 7 over 9. So now, division actually becomes multiplication. 7 times 7.
49.
Good. 5 times 9.
45.
Good. Now bonus, put this into a mixed number.
Oh,
How many times does 45 go into 49?
Once.
With how many left over?
44.
4. Good. So the answer is 1 and 4 over 45. So 7/5 divided by 9/7 is 1 and 4 over 45.